Hey YouTube loves, thanks for checking out my video today. I'm going to be talking about same soul and twin flames and why that is such a significant part of our evolutionary development, and also just like how we can see it in the birth chart as well. And so it's really just like in the season that we're in, the cosmic climate that we're in this Venus retrograde climate, which it is currently in Scorpio. And then it'll shift back into Libra in like a week or so. And so really at this time, with any retrograde cycle, it's a time where we're going to go within and just really find the answers um, within ourselves to whatever at this current time with the Venus retrograde cycle. It's like, what are our values and desires? What do we need to feel safe and secure? How do we communicate that with others? How do we listen also to others? Because it's like Libra is the balance, like the scales. And so, Venus is the natural ruler of Libra. And so, or is the ruler of Libra. And so you have this like dynamic between the inner and the outer aspects of Venus, the outer being the Libra aspect, which is balance. And it's like listening to others, knowing your values, knowing your desires, being able to have honest communication about it, while also listening to the partner and seeing like how you can come together. And so the inner aspect of Venus is the Taurus part of it, where it's more so about, and this is that first step that you make before you even get to the outer aspect. And it's like inner and outer. You have the inner planets, the inner signs, which would be Aries through Virgo in houses 1 through 6, which essentially I look at as same. And then you have the outer energies or the outer planets, which is like Libra to Pisces or 7th house to 12th house. And so, through the evolution of the zodiac wheel, you have Taurus being the second sign, second house being the second house, right? And so there's this element of really understanding like what I need to survive. It's like with Aries, you just emerged, right? That's that instinctual emergence. And then you're really like, oh, I'm here. And like you start doing things. And then, obviously you have your outer world, which is, Libra. But like you're doing these instinctual actions, and then you get the reactions from the opposite sign or from the opposite, from externally. So then that's how you learn, right? And then so as you go through to Taurus in the second house, you start learning about your environment. You're like, oh, I can't just be. I need like water, I need food, I need shelter. And so that's really the essence of Taurus. It's like finding out what you desire, like what your values are, what you need to feel safe and secure. Also bringing in that element of emotions because, Earth is a feminine or passive energy. And so Taurus has this like earthy, but very feminine energy to it. So it's very sensitive, it's passive, it's going within. And so this is like an inner self-reliance as well, that aspect plays. So it's like, how do I feel safe and secure within myself, within my emotions? And how can I gather these resources to, sustain that? And so as you go along, you go through until you get to the 7th house. So you're having all these experiences between the 4th, 5th, 6th, and then you get to the 7th house. And it's like the 7th house is like that first shift into the outer world, and it's the outer aspect of Venus. And Venus is, it's like from this perspective, it's like, okay, I've figured out what I needed to feel safe and secure. I've had these experiences. Now I'm here connecting with other people. And so I need to understand I need to learn how to communicate my values, my emotions to those individuals, and how to listen to what their values and emotions are. And hopefully we can compromise and come to the middle and balance things out. So it's like having these different perspectives. And so then when you get to the 8th house, it's like taking that up a notch. 8th house Scorpio, taking that up a notch where it's like, okay, now I feel that I can like be intimate with this individual and merge together with this energy of this individual. And, so we have that whole evolution right there, just like that aspect. I didn't even get to, you can go and even to Capricorn, where it's like your emotional body in the outer world, the opposite of Cancer. And so how do you flow within that? So right now, the cosmic climate is really, it's really heavy. Venus is, pretty much tying up its time in Scorpio, Venus retrograde. And so by the end of this Scorpio, there's going to be a lot of, by the end of Venus retrograde in Scorpio, there's going to be a lot of things coming to the surface because, Scorpio wants the bottom line. Scorpio wants to penetrate to the core. So once it gets to that point, which will be like this ending part, right before Venus retrograde shifts into Libra, things are going to come up, put on the table, and then we're in this Venus retrograde period where it's like, okay, now we need to talk about what we actually value, what we need, in case this certain thing that comes up isn't working, and how can we communicate that with each other, and how can we listen. And then it's like, if we can't evolve together, which is going to be my next point, then we have to agree, we have to go our separate ways and not try to drag out a relationship. And so I wanted to talk about the whole concept of karma mates, soulmates, twin souls, and same souls, right? And so with the whole twin flame, same soul, so essentially the idea, and this is my perspective on things, so take it or leave it, take parts of it, take nothing. But so I believe that at some point there was one, ball of energy, one form of consciousness, very like high energetic, very high vibrational, can't even like comprehend how powerful and how like, just like very energetic this energy is. So you have this one central ball of source energy. So we would call that source. And at some point or another, for some reason or another, source wanted to separate, to learn different things, and really honestly, creation is separation. Whenever you create something, that's an extension of you. So think of it that way. So it's like so this source energy wanted to learn different things. So it's like, okay, I'm going to split into these different souls, right? I'm going to split into these different little, balls of consciousness, like this energy of consciousness. And so the way I even look at different realities, different dimensions, like even different planets and star clusters and stuff like that, I look at them as schools. So it's like Earth, because I have, a known focus and perspective on Earth, I can speak about it. Earth is a school, in regard to learning about emotions, limitations, also having the veil, like being unaware of your divinity. So there's that element there. And so it's also one of the hardest schools, or, allegedly, from what I've heard from my teachers and whatnot. But it's like, this is a very hard place to be. And this is for the strongest souls, which, woo, yeah, we made it. We're awesome, right? But so yeah, this is a really hard place to be because that's the nature of the game. You're unaware. You have these blinders on. You have this veil, down within your face, or your third eye, or whatever, however you want to look at it. And so you're unaware. So it's like you have to figure that out, and you have guides and like supporting energy to help guide you along the way. And that's the whole idea of it being a co-creation. But solely you have control, you have the power, like this is your own destiny, this is your path, this is your life lesson. And so when you have that idea of one source energy, and then it's separating to learn, that's how the same souls idea work. And I feel that when people talk about twin flames, they're really talking about this concept, but twin flames from what I've been taught, is like a little bit different. And so we have these two splits, right? And so they're going to be polar opposite. It's like this one has a desire to be passive, feminine. This one has a desire to be masculine, active, masculine. And so you have that first degree of separation. And so when it comes to same souls, it's like when you get to this point which is pretty rare, when you get to this point where you're meeting your same soul, like you both exhausted all these desires to separate, you're coming together back as one. And so when you meet a twin soul or twin flame, because I can speak personally, I've had meetings with multiple twin flames, or not multiple, but at least like 3 that I can think of right off the top of my head. there's always something there where it's like, okay, like we're so close, but it's just like we can't be together. And so really what's going on there is that internal desire that we have as just being spiritual beings in this body, in this school of earth, right? The school of form. We have the two desires, primal desires, to separate and to return. And so as we come together, say in a relationship, there's going to be at some point or another, unless it is like, you're in this life to really just be in a relationship. But there's comes a time where you had this desire to do something else. Maybe you have a desire to you want to try out something else with someone else. Then it's like that creates friction because you have these other desires. Or maybe you want to move to a different country and your partner doesn't want to, or whatever the case may be. Or even within yourself is what I'm really trying to get at, is that a part of you wants to be together and be one, but then maybe there are parts of you that want to split off and do other things. And so just by that thought process of wanting to split off, that reality is created. And it's hard to, you can't see it, but it's like you can choose, you create these different realities with your thought, and you can choose which one to focus on. So this is why anything can change in a moment. You can, align, once you make that intention to align with this certain path of what you want, or this reality that you see and that you thought of and visualize, then that's the whole game of manifestation and aligning with your purpose. And so, yes, so you have these different twin soul, twin flames, which are definitely soul fractals of that one soul, right? And so you might meet at some time, apart one of those soul fractals, and you're just like, oh, wait, it doesn't work out. But it's that really intense, that really intense connection. And as you go on further, as you guys grow, or I don't necessarily, so that's the thing, everything is coming in too quickly. I'm going to have to say slow down because, yeah. Sorry if I'm rambling at you guys. It's just all the information just comes through, and it's stuff that I've been thinking about for a minute. So, and I've been wanting to record a video on this. So sorry if I'm speaking too quickly. But anyways, so you have this, you meet this twin flame, and then at some point it just seems like it doesn't work out, and it's because one of you is growing in this way, and obviously you're growing another. That's the whole point of growing apart, right? The separating, because you have these desires that you want to fulfill. And so to exhaust all of these desires is to come back as one, which is that Pisces energy, where it's you've gone through Aries, through Virgo, through Capricorn, and then you get to Pisces, and it's oh, all is one, and I've learned all these lessons, I've had these experiences, I just want to be back with source. And so it's really when you meet that same soul person, and for that ultimate return to come together, it's both of you have to have this agreement to evolve together, whatever way that looks like, as long as it's you're growing as an individual. And it doesn't have to be spiritual practices per se. It can literally be traveling the world, and it's that feeling that you feel together and you grow and you have these experiences, and that's that same soul aspect that we're all obviously looking for. And you really can't even get to that point until you realize that is also within. So feeling that first within and sharing that with another, and being able to come back and return with this individual. So I think I'm going to stop this here. If you guys have any questions, definitely comment on this video. Also follow me on Instagram. I'm pretty active on Instagram. That's probably where I'm the most active. And check out my website, uraniauniverse.com. Book a reading with me. I have a special right now until October 31st, 2018, if you're watching this pretty soon. And I'm doing past life readings and relationship readings. So definitely shoot me a message. Love you guys.